What's up, guys? It's your boy Kit Dale back here for another short podcast. 4-year BJJ black belt, 2-time world pro champion, many other medals that aren't really worth talking about, and basically all-around good guy. I'm here to talk to you guys about the biggest misconception of what the word timing means. Okay, and this word gets thrown out a lot in jiu-jitsu, and it's a really important factor of jiu-jitsu, but a lot of people think it's something that it really isn't. Most people think timing is reaction speed. It's your ability to react at a certain speed that is what timing is. And they think that the faster they get, the better their timing is, which is not necessarily true. Bruce Lee used to say this. He used to say, if you punch too slow, then he's not there yet. Oh no, I fucked that one up. If you punch too slow, he's already gone. If you punch too quick, he's not even there yet. The key is finding that middle ground, and that middle ground is far more psychological than what it is to do with actual time. Okay? You need to work out a couple things. You need to work out, one, what does your opponent think you're doing? And you need to do something that is definitely not that. You know, you need to find if there's like A, B, or C, or D to pass someone's guard. You need to figure out what is the one that's probably best fit for this that he doesn't see coming. That is what timing is. Your ability to mislead your opponent, your ability to deceive your opponent is timing. We do this all the time in poker. It doesn't, just because you've got the best hand doesn't mean you're going to win. It's your ability to manipulate and deceive your opponents. Your ability to make them feel like you have a good hand when you don't, or make them feel like you don't have a good hand when you do, to bluff them. And a lot of jiu-jitsu is like that. You're bluffing people. You're trying to trick them. You're trying to tell them to look over here when what's really happening is down here. And this is one of the most important things about jiu-jitsu, and this comes into, or falls in the category of psychological warfare. If you've ever read a book on this, like Sun Tzu's Art of War, Miyamoto Musashi's book, the Book of Five Rings, I think it's called. Things like that, they talk a lot about psychological warfare. And we do this every day in real life. We deceive people. We have an intention and we hide it really well. And jiu-jitsu is very much the same. You have an intention. You want to do X, but you need to be able to hide that from your opponent as much as you can. If they see that coming, then your timing is going to be off. And if your timing is off, you're going to have to force something on. And if you're going to have to force something on, it's going to require energy and effort. And you're going to be more about imposing your will than what you are about the gentle art of deceiving your opponent, which is much more technical and much better. You can do both ways. You can become a beast and you can just let everyone know exactly what you're doing and just force it on anyway. But that's a really fucking exhausting way of training and a very unintelligent way of training, if you ask me. It is possible, but you're going to need to be an athlete. You're going to need to really embrace the grind and bash your way to victory, which is not a really fun way for anyone else or yourself. I definitely advise you to become far more technical. So remember that psychological thing. It's all psychological. Your ability to deceive your opponent. And this, you see this a lot in, I talk about this with submissions a lot of the time, where people think that you just need to be really quick at smacking on submissions, but it's quite the opposite. If your timing is really bad, then yeah, you might need to be really quick. But if your timing is good, then you don't need to be quick because they won't even see it coming anyway. And I think about this, a lot of people make the mistake of telegraphing what they're doing, and then your timing's way off. Think of a lion. A lion's hunting a gazelle. What does a lion do? It goes low into the long grass and it crawls its way all the way up to that gazelle until it's as close as it can be before that gazelle sees it, and then it fucking charges that and eats the shit out of that motherfucking thing. Everything, even the dick, doesn't matter, it fucking eats it. And that's what you want. You don't want to eat people's dicks, but you want to get as close as you can, as subtle as you can, and then strike. That's going to be the key. So don't worry about getting fast reaction speed. It's not going to help you much. help you much. It's not going to help you much. What you want to get is a good understanding of what your opponent is thinking. And to do that, you need to learn how to read your opponent. And it just is what I said. You got to look at your opponent, read his reactions when you go to do something. And this, I think about this all the time, and I even ask my opponents when I'm training, and let's say I go to do an arm drag and he defends it, and I'll be more interested in not how he defended it, but how he saw it coming. Because that's the only way he had a chance to defend it, is because he saw it coming. So I'd be like, okay, what did I do to telegraph that? And he'd be like, oh, well, you stepped in with your right foot, and I could feel you were squeezing my arm and stuff. I go, fuck, okay, I can't squeeze the arm. I can't step in with my right foot. Maybe I looked at it. Maybe I was breathing too heavily. Maybe I was looking like, yeah, and that's what he saw. I don't think so, but regardless, learn to read your opponent, and that takes time. It takes a lot of time, a lot of observation, and a lot of recognition of patterns and stuff like that. But it does get easier over the time. So learn how to read your opponent, and then learn how to deceive your opponent. Learn how to bluff them. There's a million ways you can do this. Sometimes, like what I do is I squeeze one part of the body. Let's say I've got two wrists. I squeeze one because then he starts thinking about this arm. But what I'm really looking at doing is attacking this one, but just very soft. And then whack, I go to that arm. I squeeze it because I know he's going to react to that. He's going to feel that, and it's going to scare him. I'm very light, usually on the limbs I'm going to attack. I'm usually light on because I want to make him feel comfortable. Even if I'm going to choke someone, by the time I get that first side of the choke, the last thing I'm going to do is put that pressure on, because he's going to feel that it's tight on one side and he's going to protect the other straight away. What I want him to do is I want him to feel that it's nothing here. And then when he thinks it's not a threat, bang, then I grab the other one. Pop his head right off. So be very subtle with what you're doing and understand that game. There is a non-verbal game that happens, a psychological game that happens, and you need to learn how to play that. And when you can, then you're going to start manipulating your opponents into doing everything. And this is where they start fucking second-guessing everything, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what's a trap and what you're really doing, and you can confuse them, and then they go inside their head and they're done. So that is the biggest misconception of timing, and that's what timing really is. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please let me know in the comments if you have any questions on this. If you agree with it or if you disagree, please let me know and let's chat about it there. Otherwise, please share this to your friends, your family, your dad, your girlfriend, everyone you know. Even your little nephews, get them onto this. They're going to love this shit. All right. Once again, thank you for watching. Go to kitdaletraining.com to check out my other videos and my other podcasts. I hope you enjoyed it, and say hi to your mum for me.